tell me.
Audience for Faith Edwards' speech. We have students from Tri-Plains High School, one teacher attending, and we'll turn it over to Faith.
Most people don't think of going to the zoo as going to visit the cousins. But if what our science textbooks say are true, that's exactly what it is. Now, most people think that we are descendants of apes simply because they've never heard any different. Hi, my name is Faith Edwards, and today I'm going to be systematically going through each of those missing links on our family tree and providing some surprising intel on them. Then I'll tell you how I believe that we came to be. So let's take a look at our family tree. Most of us have seen these pictures at a museum. And first comes Gigantopithecus, Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthal man, Piltdown man, and then finally Homo sapiens, or humans. So the very first figure on our chart is Gigantopithecus. This is a word meaning giant ape, and that is exactly what it is. In fact, Dennis Peterson, in his book, Unlocking the Mysteries of Creation, claims that so many scientists have said that it is only a giant ape that it's actually been removed from the list. So if all those scientists can remove it from their list, then so will we. Next, we encounter Ramapithecus. He is said to be around 14 million years old, and evidence was found in him in India and then later in Africa around the 1930s. This sketch here does not lead you to believe that he was made from a 2-inch piece of jawbone, but that is actually exactly what he was made of. Most scientists now discredit Ramapithecus simply because he was made from that tiny piece of jawbone. So they've taken them off their charts, and so will we. Next we see Australopithecus, also known as Nutcracker Man. He was found by Dr. Louis Leakey in 1959 and was said to be about 1.8 million years old. Now, the interesting thing about Australopithecus is that they are actually made with actual ape skulls. So that begs the question, why are they said to be missing links between apes and humans? The answer is that they were found near stone tools. However, these stone tools were actually just chips of rock about the size of acorns. So I don't know what they were planning to do with those tools, but not much. So I don't think that finding them near some chips of rocks makes them actual missing links, so we'll also remove them from our chart. Next we encounter Homo habilis. He was found by Dr. Richard Leakey in 1973, and Richard Leakey was the son of Dr. Louis Leakey. The skull that he found, we claim to be Homo habilis, was pretty battered, but the brain cavity was actually consistent with that of a modern human. So again, the question, why is it considered a missing link? The answer is that it was found in volcanic ash that was said to be around 2.6 million years old. Scientists didn't expect to find any humans in that area, so they naturally claimed that he was a missing link. However, if you can see this figure here, it doesn't look anything like a human, even though the skull was very human-shaped. So just because he was found in a surprising area doesn't mean that Homo habilis was actually a missing link, so we're going to cross him off as well. There are two main categories in Homo erectus: Java man, pictured on top, and Peking man, pictured on the bottom. Java man was found in 1897 by Eugen Dubois. He was a Dutch medical doctor. if you look at the picture up here and any other full-scale models that you may see, you may not realize it, but he is actually made from a piece of a leg bone and a piece of a skull bone. Later, other bones that Dubois had found were actually found to be human bones, casting reasonable doubt upon the authenticity of Java Man. Peking Man was found much later by Davidson Black in 1921 near Peking, China. He claimed to have found 14 skull fragments, 11 jawbone fragments, 7 thigh fragments, 2 arm fragments, 1 wrist fragment, and 147 teeth. However, all of these but 2 teeth were lost during World War II. So it's hard to verify the authenticity of these bones. However, Marcelin Buhl, a French scientist, had a chance to look at these bones before they were lost, and he stated that they were actually just simple monkey bones that had been left by hunters. With the doubt cast on Java Man and Peking Man, I think that we can strike them from our list as well. Neanderthals, or as they're properly called Neanderthals, are quite famous and they've been found in many places. Their bones show that they were strong people and have very heavy features, but that in no way means that they were actually apes. In fact, Professor Rudolf Virchow, who is now considered the founder of modern pathology, had a chance to study these bones, and he claimed that they were just skeletons of people who suffered rickets as children, arthritis in old age, and some of them also suffered blunt force trauma before they died. And according to Gary Parker in his article Human Beings, they also had a larger brain capacity than modern humans. Definitely not a sign of evolution. So I think it's safe to say that Neanderthals, while very strong people, were not actual apes or missing links between human and apes. So they can also be struck from our list. Piltdown Man is considered about one step from being human. He was found in 1912 by Charles Dodson in what appeared to be a human-shaped skull and an ape-shaped jawbone. The science community was ecstatic by this finding because they finally had the proof of missing links that they'd been looking for. However, in 1953, it was found that the teeth had been filed to fit and the bone had been dyed to look old. Although this fraud was discovered, it was too late because a generation of children, now adults, had been raised to believe that Piltdown Man was a missing link, and many of them still believe it today simply because the original discovery was publicized more than the discovery of the fraud. Nebraska Man is around the same family as Piltdown Man, and most people have seen this sketch. In fact, it's very famous. And in no way it leads you to believe that he was made from a single tooth, but it in fact was. Later, the tooth was found to be from an extinct pig, and then years later, that extinct pig was actually found living in Paraguay, so they were able to verify the tooth actually did come from that pig. So, obviously, Piltdown Man and Nebraska Man, both frauds, can be struck from our list, leaving only one thing: humans. I believe that there are no missing links in humans and apes. I believe that we are and always have been human, and that we were created by God. If you think about it, that isn't any more far-fetched than some of the evolutionist claims that we've looked at today. In his book, Life on the Mississippi, Mark Twain wrote, "There is something fascinating about science. One gets such wholesale returns of conjectures out of such a trifling investment of facts. Scientists have so twisted facts to fit their own standards that many people believe them simply because that's all they've heard. I hope today that I've shown you some interesting things about these facts and given you a little bit clearer insight so that you can make your own judgments on what you